Hi, this is Diana Larson. I'm here with James Shore
Hi there.
to tell you about the Agile Fluency model. It's the model that we first published in 2012 and updated in 2018. We're going to give you just a brief overview. If you'd like to learn more, go to agilefluency.org and read our white paper. When we first began developing the model, and even still today, we noticed a lot of folks disagreeing about how Agile is supposed to be done. And we don't feel like that's a very productive conversation to have. We want to rise above that and ask, what are the useful Agile ideas and how can we take advantage of them? With that in mind, we created the model by looking at all the different ways we saw Agile practiced. We reviewed it with a broad cross-section of other folks who worked in the Agile community. Some were thought leaders, some were in the trenches practitioners. And we got the model to a place where we all agreed it pretty much represented their experiences as well as ours of the different ways Agile teams have worked well. All along, we wanted to move beyond the Agile methodology wars. In our minds, the model needed to be positive. The model shows what works and what brings value to organizations. It needed to be inclusive. We don't promote one methodology over another. We see how they all can contribute to really effective Agile teams. And finally, we needed the model to promote improvement. It shows you, your team members, and your managers how you can continuously improve your Agile practice to get the benefits you really need. The name Agile Fluency comes from the idea of fluency that we borrowed from language fluency. And the idea that when you are fluent in a skill, you perform that skill with routine, automatic ease. It's what you do without thinking. It's not what you stretch into. It's what you just do naturally. And some people might call it fluent proficiency or praxis mastery, but it really is that ability that comes from doing something well over and over again. And it comes only from an investment in learning and really focusing on deliberate practice.
Let me tell you a little bit about how it works. Some people ask us if the Agile Fluency model is a maturity model, and it really isn't. We believe that every part of the model has value if it's a good fit for what your organization needs. So instead of thinking of the model as a progression where we want to get to the end, we think of it as a ride on a bus, as if you were going through different bus zones, and you would always get off at the one that gives you the value that you're looking for. The model starts with the idea that an organization has a group of effective individual contributors. Remember, this is a positive model, and there's nothing wrong with being in this pre-Agile zone. You have skilled practitioners working separately, assigned individual tasks, and reporting progress from an engineering perspective. And if that's working for you, that's great. And many organizations do need the benefits that Agile provides. Agile is a team sport, so those individual contributors need to move to a team-based way of working. When they do, they go through a team culture shift.
This team culture shift leads to the focusing Agile Fluency Zone. Fluent focusing teams provide a number of benefits to the organization. They show the progress they're making from the business's perspective. Stakeholders can redirect the work as needed. And they'll know that the team is always working on their most valuable priority. To provide those benefits, the team members have some things they're going to need to be really effective as a team. They need to be fully dedicated to a single team. They need their own team workspace, either physical or virtual. They need a business representative who provides perspective on what has business value. They'll need to be coached in skills such as continuous learning and making their work visible. And managers need to be trained to support their new way of working. This zone represents Agile fundamentals, and reaching fluency can take anywhere from 2 to 6 months if properly supported with these investments. Methods that discuss these skills include Scrum and Kanban. And fluency in the focusing zone can be adequate for many organizations. It can be a very nice fit. but not for all organizations.
In addition to focusing on business results, some organizations need reliable delivery to market. These organizations go through a team skills shift to our next bus zone, which we call delivering. Teams fluent at delivering provide a lot of benefit to the organization. They can release at will, shipping low-defect software whenever their customers are ready to accept it. This allows them to capture monetary value as soon as features are ready. And this way of working reveals obstructions early, before they become big problems, so they can be fixed while they're small. You need delivering fluency to get these benefits, and the skill shift required to reach fluency doesn't happen overnight. One of the biggest investments you'll make in your teams is patience with the learning curve. Teams' productivity will decline at first as they learn new skills and pay off technical debt. You'll also need to include other disciplines into the team so the team can own their entire release cycle. You'll often need DevOps or user experience folks. And finally, everyone will need training to get them to engineering excellence, and they'll probably need full-time technical mentoring to reinforce that training. We call this zone Agile Sustainability because this allows the team to spend more time on building features, less time on fixing things, and the maintainability of their output tends to be much better. Fluency at delivering can take another 3 months to 2 years beyond focusing fluency, depending on how much technical debt you have. Extreme programming practices and the DevOps movement are both good places to look for more information. Although the delivering zone builds on the focusing zone, it's actually faster to aim for the delivering zone before you reach focusing fluency. That's because Agile practices all work together. This idea applies to all Agile fluency zones. If you know which zone you're trying to reach, invest in reaching that zone from the beginning. And for most organizations, focusing or delivering fluency is everything they need. But some want even more. They not only want to deliver low-defect software reliably, they also want to lead their market. And this further shift requires attention to organizational structure.
Teams that reach optimizing fluency make excellent product decisions, really eliminate the wait time that comes from cross-team handoffs, and they have the expertise needed to innovate in and even disrupt their markets. Fluency in these benefits requires real business expertise in the team. You'll need to focus your team on specific markets so they can develop that expertise. You'll often need to embed product experts as full-time team members. There will need to be shifts in the way managers interact with teams, including delegating business decisions to the team. This will likely require coaching for managers as they adapt to supporting their teams differently than they're used to. We call this zone Agile's Promise, because very often this is what's sold as the best way to do Agile, even though it's not the right fit for everyone. But even if this might be the right fit for you, it will probably take several years before your organization adapts to these Agile ideas. Methodologies to research as you consider this shift include lean startup, lean software development, design thinking, and possibly even beyond budgeting.
There's one final zone in our model that's inappropriate for all but a very few organizations. It comes from a desire to innovate organizational culture. We call this zone strengthening because teams fluent in this zone contribute to making their whole organization stronger. They cross-pollinate ideas and innovations across teams. They understand their role in the larger system and actively work to make the whole cross-organization value stream more successful. To enable strengthening fluency, the organization needs to invest in the cutting edge. This zone is only for leaders who want to create new ways of working. It requires inventing new Agile practices and teaching teams to think about the whole organization. We call this zone Agile's Future, because it's the direction cutting-edge Agile practice appears to be going. To learn more, research complexity theory, organization design theory, and alternative governance structures. The book Bossa Nova is a good starting point.
In the end, what we really want to know is what's the benefit we need and which investments and trade-offs are we willing to make to get those benefits? The Agile Fluency model provides your roadmap. Read the white paper and find out more at agilefluency.org. I'm Diana Larson.
And I'm James Shore.
Thank you for listening.